The romantic narrative demands that the guy cedes power, though, doesn't it? That's how the narrative works. It's like if you really loved me, then you would do this, you would do that, you would give up this, you would give up that. So it's about resisting that societal programming.
I have a question for you guys actually on that. I have a question for you guys. One of your opinions. So that romantic narrative, do you think like that, and maybe on an unconscious level or whatever level, is pushed for women or for men? In other words, like beta men who gravitate towards that as like a option for them, whereas the other way of thinking might not be an option that they could consider, or is it for? Or you think it's just strictly for women or both? I don't know. I mean, yeah,
both guys. I can sacrifice. Yeah. Oh, awesome! I'll get poon that way, and the girl's like, "Oh, he's gonna give me shit." Sounds for it's a great lie because everybody loses and wins at the same time.
It's it's what I call the cardinal rule of relationships, which are mating strategies. Cardinal rule of mating strategies, which is for one sex's mating strategy to succeed, the other one has to either compromise or abandon their mating strategy to some degree. So it's usually for guys, because guys, 80% of guys are unattractive and they're trying to figure things out. That's why monogamy works really well for them in marriage, and at least in the past, anyways. It was the ideal situation, right? Because you become the head of household, you reproduce, but you still have the responsibility to your kids and alimony and everything else if things go south. But it was a good deal for guys who are simply not like Sterling Cooper, right? They can't go and nail like 3 girls in 3 different countries and exercise their own sexual strategy on their own. For men's sexual strategy is what? Unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. For women, it is finding the best quality guy who is going to not only be, alpha fucks, but beta bucks as well. And then for women, they can only really maximize alpha fucks for a 10-year span, maybe, whereas the rest has to be beta bucks. It has to be long-term security. It has to be protection, provisioning, and parental investment. And so they're trying to balance those things. Men, on the other hand, they go, well, men need variety. It's not that they need variety. It's just that we're wired for unlimited access to unlimited sexuality. So when you are trying to form a balance between the two, a compromise between the two, it's usually if a guy is to fulfill a woman's mating strategy, which is I need you to be like the guy who's parentally invested in me, he has to abandon his strategy. For a man to maximize his strategy, that means the woman, in even Sterling's case, or maybe Abu American's case or whatever, she has to abandon or compromise part of her own strategy, which is why 4 wives hate each other, because they're all trying to maximize their own mating strategy when the guy is so high value that he forces them to compromise their mating strategy. So for one to succeed, the other one has to compromise or abandon. And today, for the 80% of beta males, they have to abandon it completely. That's why it's all responsibility and zero authority, because they've abandoned it. If there was a compromise there where the guy, like I say this all the time, women love a man. They don't want a man to cheat, but they love a man who could cheat. Most men can't possibly cheat. There's no opportunity. There's no, they think it's a great idea that they've got this one girl who's willing to touch their dick. Right, that's their whole thing, and I get kids out of it, and I can resolve my reproductive problem. No problem. They'll sign on even when they know that marriage is an all downside, all risk proposition for them. They'll still take it because that's where they are in their heads, because we program these guys and blue pill conditioned them to believe that that's the best thing. What they've done is abandoned entirely their unlimited access to unlimited sexuality, except when they're jerking off to porn and Sterling is entertaining them.